We got our new windlass, Excalibur. It's a 600 watt one, with some foot pedals and toggle, and obviously some breakers and some wiring harness. Here is our old windlass that we had on here. This one's, I think, a 400 or 450 watt one, power winch. I think it was the power winch version, sport, 450, sport fishing 450. And we're going to replace it with the like an Excalibur 600 watt one. So we're gonna it'll have a little bit more torque, pull, everything. So now we're trying to figure out how to pull it off. We realize there's no top bolts it doesn't go this way. You have to go up underneath it. So but this board's got to come off, which then we found out, like, if you see it's kind of cracking a little bit. So I already took these bolts out because these were just bolts, long bolts with nuts on the back, except for this one was a screw on the outer ones. And it does have a little bit of a crack in it. It's not gone all the way through, but I'd rather, when we take this off, re-fiberglass that portion of it when we replace this. But so we're assuming we got to take all these out. So we got to reach in the little anchor well there and try to get to the nut and then unscrew it, and then we can take this whole thing off. And once we get that off, then we can get the windlass off and put everything back on and put the new one on. But obviously we're going to fix the crack and everything. So that is our, I guess, project to get the anchor set up, because the anchor we had come in there, that was actually in the anchor locker. But we actually got one of these. I think it's 22 pounds. So we got a Rockna anchor, so we want to put that one on. So we got new anchor line coming in, and the windlass just came in. So that is the project right now. We got it cracked, but he's gonna go down there, and I'm gonna pull up here so we can try to catch it so it doesn't smash onto the ground and like break everything. And that's what it looks like. I gotta cover all these holes up so our pouring rain doesn't fill up our anchor locker. Well, it's all taped up now, peeled off all the silicone. I'm gonna sand it in the morning to get the little extra stuff, because like around the edges you can see there's a little bit more silicone there. So, lap seal or silicone or whatever, butte tape, whatever you want to call it for the sealant. But gotta get it all off, clean it up so we can put some new stuff on, and hopefully it'll last. So we got some epoxy on this side. We filled in this side. Then we realized the crack that went across went down, like that little crack that we had. Yeah, it went deeper than we thought it did. We're gonna grind it down even more. We're prepping again. We gotta ground it down. Those two, once we fill it all in. So we can get all the screws in it for the... Okay, we put a whole bunch of mesh on. I epoxied our 2 parts. So we used pretty much Total Boat resin, obviously, and the hardener. And we were just putting some on. Yeah, you can see some divots and stuff in there, but we need to get all these layers to harden first, because if you remember, it was really down. So we did some filler pieces, and then obviously went strip, wider, and then same thing down here, smaller filler pieces, and then wider, and down. So it's all wet right now. It's hardening, and then we'll cut, trim, sand. So we use some of this more as a filler, and then we use the finer stuff to lay over top so we can get a little smoother when we're cleaning it up. But we'll see. Alright, so we poured the last little bit on. Now for the last sanding to get that smoothed out a little bit better. Looks like frosting over cake. And once we smooth it out, we'll get the board painted.